Curling hockey gold medal match, a waning star in Kansas, and who you need to be on the lookout for at this week's NFL Combine. We'll give you your picks of this weekend's games and even introduce a new segment that you will not want to miss. All this and more coming up on the One and Know Sports Show.
We're going to have an exciting show. We're going to talk about the NFL divisional round and what we expect from it. We talk about Texas's inconsistent start in Big 12 play for men's basketball. We'll finish with some talk about our women's basketball team. So we got a packed show today.
I got to go the other way. You know, Texas A&M, they got a lot of identity issues. Are they an agricultural school? Are they military? Are they blue collar? Are they academics? They're all over the place. So
now, I'm always a sucker for a one-handed catch. I have tiny hands. I need 3 of them just to catch a football. So this one-handed grab in the end zone, that's just super impressive in my eyes. That's going to be my play of the week.
Mayo pour on college game day. Look at this. Just the guy and the North Carolina, South Carolina game. He's just straight eating it, shirt off, rubbing it on his body.
Hey, listen, the Cinderella story ends here, Texans. I'm sorry, man. The chariots turns back into the pumpkin. It struck midnight. Whatever you want to say. I think it ends here.
Good morning, and welcome to One and Know Sports. But before we get started, we want to tell you that today's show is brought to you by Cap Metro, Austin's transit system. They connect you to work, school, play, and everywhere in between. So plan your ride to this weekend's game at capmetro.org. Well, I'm having a fantastic morning, but how are you doing today, Aiden?
I'm doing okay, Georgie. I just woke up maybe an hour ago, but I'm still feeling strong because we get to talk about who's hot, who's not. And let me start out with who's hot. Florida Gators. I think they've been the team of the year so far, specifically in 2026. They've won 10 games in a row. This was a team that was basically fell off within 2 weeks of the start of the NCAA basketball tournament. They have won. They have come out to play. They have found their identity, and that is inside with their inside scoring with Ruben Chinilu, Thomas Howe, and then, of course, their big guy, Alex Condon, straight from the Barbie in Australia. He's been great. I think this is a team that has really found their form. I think they're the hottest team in basketball, given this is a team that really didn't lose that many players besides Walter Clayton. They've really found their form inside, and they can just beat you anywhere in between. Xavier Lee, the transfer from Princeton, has really found his form in SEC play. And I think this is a team of the year. I think this team can go really deep and possibly return to that Final Four, potentially winning the championship like they did last year.
Well, honestly, I can't actually wait to see how that plays out for the Florida Gators. But I'm going to have to go with Arkansas's Razorbacks' Darius Adcoff Jr., who is a phenomenal freshman point guard this year and one of the top young guards in college basketball history. The former five-star recruit from Detroit, he is averaging over 22 points and 6 assists, and no SEC freshman has matched since Maravich.
Pete Maravich,
and
yep.
Yeah, Maravich. And the coaches praise his pace, and even Texas coach Sean Miller, who they recently had gone against not too long ago, their defense was no stop for that point guard. He is a true freshman, and I can't wait to see how he fathoms in this SEC championship that we're actually going to be attending.
Absolutely, I'm so happy to see, especially seeing Darius Adcoff. I don't know if you saw, Georgie, in the presser after that game Wednesday night, Sean Miller talked about how Darius Adcoff, he compared him to a generational player. And comparing him to Pete Maravich, I mean, Pete Maravich might be one of the greatest players of all time next to Bill Walton and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And he did it without three-point shooting, too. And I mean, the guy was averaging 40 points a night. And it's really amazing to see. I mean, you look at the top watch players, they're all freshmen, and it's funny how freshmen are leading this team, so
there's something in the water this one, but let's switch this over to who's not. I'm going to start this off with South Alabama and Coastal Carolina women's basketball. They're not hot, but those tempers definitely were. A scuffle broke out after South Alabama's Cordacia Harris and Coastal Carolina's Tracy Houston. After contact on a rebound, Houston turned and began pushing and swinging and pushed it back. But as you can see, the official is laying on the floor. She got in the scuffle as well, so I know she's not feeling too hot as well. And the Sun Belt Conference issued suspicions, including Houston being ruled out for the remainder of the postseason, which I think is kind of great. But look at this contact.
You really took it metaphorically into really big time perspective. I think that's very funny. It just goes to show basketball is more than a game, folks.
It's more than a game.
It really affects the livelihood of these players.
And it was South Alabama's 3 top scorers who were for the next tournament game.
And they really want clicks too, because I don't think you would really tend to watch South Alabama. I don't think they're getting any reputable information from ESPN, so that's a really big time way to make a name for yourself.
It really is. What about you?
That's something I'll never forget. Now, I want to forget this team, Iowa State, but I can't because they've just been talked about all the time. I mean, Seth Greenberg has compared this team to being the best. They have lost their last 3 Big 12 games from Texas Tech to BYU, and then now on to Kansas. This team is just flat out choking game in and game out, and part of it is their lack of free throw shooting. This is a great 3-point shooting. Milan Milinkovic, sorry if you're from Serbia, I might have botched that name. No, I definitely botched that name for sure. But this team was going into that Texas Tech game last Saturday. Georgia, they were on the 1 line. They were a top 4 team. After that game, and then their loss to BYU after, they're now on the 4 line. Okay, and this is a team that might not even get that top 4 buy-in into the tournament going into Kansas City next week. So a lot to happen for TJ Hossberger's crew, and this is a team that was scoring, game in, game out from the perimeter. They're now in their last 5 games, they're shooting only a mere 30% from 3, which is terrible, and they also shoot 60% from the foul line. That's one of the worst in college basketball. I'm sorry from Iowa. I bet you're not watching it. You're probably chugging some corn right now. But again, sorry Iowa State fans, but your team is really bad right now.
Well, we'll definitely see how all these men's basketball teams and women's, any March Madness, it's actually officially March, so it's about to get a little crazy up in here.
Exactly.
But before that's starting up, but also
hold on, can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
Big shout out to cricket. The World Cup just happened, so if you're a cricket fan, big shout out to cricket.
For one of those sports, we cover everything, ladies and gentlemen, especially the World Baseball Classic, which officially kicked off Wednesday night, and there are plenty of countries looking to bring home a title, and the reigning champs Japan had reloaded, bringing back superstar Shohei Ohtani and ace pitcher Yoshimi. Oh my gosh, I'm going to pronounce this right. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. While also U.S. seeks revenge, and now led by Aaron Judge. And of course, we can't forget to mention Venezuela and the Dominican Republic, who have also brought in strong rosters. So who should be on the front winner to win, in your opinion?
Well, I think it's the first country that popped up there on that segment, Japan. I think Japan is the best. They have the deepest pitching rotation out there with, of course, Ohtani, who's the best two-way player, and probably, up there with Babe Ruth. No, he is up there with Babe Ruth as a two-way player. And then Yamamoto, his teammate from Los Angeles Dodgers. This is the best they can hit. Flat out hit with Seiya Suzuki from Chicago Cubs. They are the front runner here. They're the defending champs, and they can just beat you with their hitting. They can beat you with their fielding, and they can beat you on the mound. This is going to be a tough task for teams like Dominican Republic, teams like USA. I think Japan just is too much. They have a great bolstered lineup all around from their pitching to their hitting to the fielding. It's going to be Japan for me. What about you, Georgie?
Well, I know that a lot of the analysts and odd makers are putting Japan up there, but you know who also is up there? The USA. And I will say, just because they are holding it as a tournament favorite, and okay, I have some stats to prove this. I didn't just Google some stuff, but they do hold more odds at a negative 110, which is ahead of Japan and the Dominican Republic. We really can't put down the Dominican Republic because they have a lot as well. But this roster on the USA is just loaded with just MLB stars like Aaron Judge, Paul Skeens, Tarek Schoonerville, and Kyle Rahele, giving USA one of the deepest lineups and the pitching staffs in the field as well. You have some of the best of the best. Right. It's definitely going to be one to watch.
I definitely think we're going to see another rematch like we did last.
Like in 2023.
Yes,
I think. The championship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So definitely, I think it's going to be a big time. It's going to be interesting to see because both teams have a multitude of talent on all sides. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see. I'm going with Japan. You're going with U.S. I think those are going to be the two teams that are going to be holding up the trophy.
But Dominican Republic, don't forget about them.
Absolutely.
You never know.
Yes, for sure.
Moving on to this next topic.
Yeah. So again, unfortunately, not all these stars will be out on the World Baseball Classic due to new insurance policies implemented by MLB countries like Puerto Rico and Venezuela without some key players due to failure to get insured. This list of names, folks, insured includes Jose Altuve, Francisco Lindor, Mike Trout for the U.S., and currently the MLB's agreement is to pay 100% of these injured players' salaries to teams if a player were to get injured in the World Baseball Classic. Many speculate this is the season insurance companies have cracked down on who they let play in the World Baseball Classic. What do you think, Georgie, MLB should do to get all these best players out on the field? Let's go to you.
Well, I'm just going to say stop letting the insurers pick who play. And I see that you kind of, we can like definitely talk about this because I feel like we can both go on tangents.
Right.
But it's definitely just, because I know they have the stricter rules because of age, injuries, and like the context. But for Team USA, which includes Mike Trout, who wanted to play but he couldn't get insured, like that really just kind of takes away the whole love of the sport. And I understand the severity of it, and I know you can go deeper with that, but it really does like kind of take that away. And it's just like, at what point do sports stop becoming sports and just become little businesses that people have to play into?
Yeah.
And it just kind of just takes away the spark. But what do you have to say on
I think it's too commercialized right now. I think you're right. I mean, it really takes away, it dilutes the love of the game.
And you have all these like random, also like just tangent as well, all these like new patches on the jerseys, it's just a whole sponsorship at this point.
Exactly.
And it just, I don't know, it's just so unauthentic.
100%. Yeah, I mean, it really takes away the appraisal for the game. For sure, and I definitely agree with you. I think it's like that for all sports. I think NBA specifically, I think they're losing ratings because it's too commercialized, and I think we're going to see it with the World Baseball Classic. It's just too much, like you said, business. It's really impacting fans' affinity towards the game, and I think it is really it's going to hurt them in the long run. For sure,
it really is.
For sure, especially with viewership. But now moving over to the hardwood, Georgie, this last weekend of full of state basketball on the men's side before conference championship week next Monday. Is there a Power 4 team that you think that's not top of their conference, but you think can make a good run to win a championship, to win their conference, and maybe make the big dance?
I actually want to hear you go first. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the Texas Tech Red Raiders here. I think they're the best team going in. That is not number one. I think all 6 of those Big 12 teams, Georgie, I think they can make it. I think they can win the championship. It's just loaded with talent and loaded with potential. But Texas Tech, they've answered the woes without JT Toppin, who's their best scorer, especially in the interior. They did it against Iowa State, who was number 4 at that time in Ames, Iowa. And Iowa State has not lost a home game in over 2 years before their loss to Texas Tech last Saturday. And then they beat Duke 2 months ago inside Madison Square Garden with JT Toppin in foul trouble within 5 minutes of the first half. This team can beat you inside. I think if they get off in a hot start with their 3-point shooting led by Donovan Atwell, Christian Anderson, and then Jace Petty, excuse me, this team can really hurt you. But I mean, a whole bunch of these teams. I mean, like teams like Iowa State, teams like Kansas, teams like even like TCU. TCU's on a run right now. I mean, TCU just beat Texas Tech on Tuesday. You're welcome, Quinn Buckley, for shouting out TCU. But I think Grant McCaslin is one of the best coaches. He's one of the most underrated coaches in college basketball. And I think Texas Tech can get it done without JT Toppin. And I think they've answered that come Iowa State. I think they're going to answer that come Kansas City.
You know what? I'm going to have to agree with just everything you said, but I also had misread the question, so I'm going to take back my answer. But also, if I'm going to say an underrated team, so I thought you meant in the Power 4, but so I had picked it. Yeah, but for an underrated team, I have to agree, just also because my best friend's a Texas Techie, but also Texas Tech is a very underrated, and last year, they really did have a deep run, so they almost
beat Florida.
They almost beat Florida. That game
if they made their free throws, which is every coach's pet peeve, they would have beaten Florida. Yep. And I think they beat U of H last year as well in their house. I think they could have won the Final Four.
In their house, and let's not even underestimate. It's just if anything were to even happen, Texas Tech has such a great home court advantage as well. So they're used to all that. But we're just wrapping up that segment, and we'll be right back, and we'll bring one of our special friends on to do our little versus segment. So stay tuned. Here we go. 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 Go.
Oh, okay. Now moving back. Now we are going now to the versus segment. We have our guest Ian right now. Ian, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. This is actually my first time ever on the One to Know Sports Show, so I'm happy to be here.
Oh, really? Yep. Nice. Okay, well, let's get it started. Georgie, you want to go with your first highlight?
Let's go. All right, we're starting off with men's basketball, college. Oh my God, best college basketball. I'm gonna have to go with Lay and Holy Cross finish at the bottom, but it was Nasir Whitlock's heave from half court that gave them the win, 69-66, and a spot in the Patriot League tournament semifinals. Run that back real quick. Yeah. Okay. We have to just gotta give some credit to the lower leagues. You know, like they're not big, sure. But I don't know why it's buffering. See, boom, and then here's the other angle. Boom. There you go.
That was cute.
Yeah, that's
right. That was nice.
That was cute.
I was like, all like 30 people in the stadium went crazy, but it was fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Georgie.
What you got, Aiden?
Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to go on to some real basketball, some Power 4 basketball. Okay, turning this around to Arkansas versus Florida Saturday night. College basketball game day was there. Darius Acuff with a lob near the three-point line to Billy Richmond with a one hand, and then he grabs it for the two-handed slam right there on a fast break transition with numbers. I mean, come on, like that's real TV, Georgie.
That is TV.
That is real TV.
That is TV.
Okay.
See, I've been pulling out some niche.
How did you even get that Lehigh highlight?
I actually don't know.
Like,
I get so
pay
much
CJ
niche.
McCollum, like you like Venmo CJ, like PayPal CJ, like yo, what's up CJ?
I was getting some niche stuff.
Okay. Yeah, no, that was.
What do you think, Ian? Who are you going with? I forgot.
A half court heave is always nice, but Darius Acuff Jr. isn't the best player in college basketball right now for a reason, so it's got to be that. Is.
Okay, I was about to say everything you say after is wrong, but no, you're good. Go ahead.
So I'm definitely gonna have to go with that lob that he had to his teammate, and that was a crazy dunk and a massive game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know how I missed that.
A massive game indeed that was highly overrated as Florida just smoked them. The second half, I think they won by like 30 points. And then they brought in Olivier Rue, which was nice. But now moving on to the women's bracket. Best women's college basketball play of the past week. Georgie, let's hit it again.
Okay, I have Avery Kane with a dagger to an upset win for Oregon women's basketball. See, I said overtime, but it's not overtime. See, like right here, just seals the game right then and there because they were going back and forth. They were catching up. The other team was catching up. It was going back and forth. And it's just like these simple plays that just can say just boom, seal. That's the win. It's not 0-0, but you know in your mind the game is done. The game is finished.
Absolutely. Now, I have one quick question for you. How big of a fan are you from when it comes to body-to-body contact?
I used to play football, so I'm all about the contact.
Well, I have something great for you. Now going on, Georgia versus Kentucky. This was last night in the SEC tournament in Greenville, South Carolina. Trinity Turner, who's 5'6", sizes up 5'8", Asia Boone with a little spin move and then gets the roll off high glass there to get the and one. Pretty cool stuff. 5'6" Trinity Turner acting like she was like Sean Kemp for the Seattle Supersonics, which I thought was very mind-blowing. And then, however, Georgia would come up dry, come up empty. The Wildcats would win by 20. And now they're playing. Who are they playing right now, Georgie?
South Carolina?
They're playing South Carolina
Kentucky
right now.
At the moment, South Carolina.
But anyway, Ian, enough with the BS. Okay, tell me, what do you like?
I'm gonna have to go with Oregon's Kane's 3-point shot here. You know, the defense on that play was good. Obviously not as good as the play that you just showed, but I just think that a three is a little bit more energizing for the team, while that type of play that you're talking about is more energizing for a player. And it was definitely some tough.
Yeah, my play was kind of like on Shaq and the Fool because like a 6 foot gets just hammered against a 5'6". Yeah. Okay. Well, Georgie, congrats for that one.
Well, moving on to the bigger leagues, we have the NBA play. Aiden, who you got?
Yeah, now I got Jaylen Brown. This was last night with the Celtics against, I can't read that team, but then he just goes with the poster dunk right there, sizing up the big fella 14 from the Hornets with a nice poster jam dunk. A little Vince Carter honey dip at the end too. That's always extra brownie points there. That was number one highlight of the game of the week from the NBA, so thank you NBA on YouTube for that. But that was a great play, and it's always a better play. I'm a Lakers fan, and I hate the Celtics with a passion, with a sheer passion. So it's always great. You know it's great when I have that in there. But yeah, Jaylen Brown for the Celtics.
Well, you're a Lakers fan, so you might like this one. So run my clip. So Lakers, come on. Gotta wait.
Any second? How's the weather outside?
Actually, it's pretty humid. My hair was going. There you go. Okay.
Awesome.
Lakers defense right here. Recover. Pass. LeBron.
Oh my God!
Pass.
The bowling ball.
Set up. Pass.
Oh my God! Oh my
God! Numbers.
Oh my gosh!
Oh baby. Replay that. Look. Recover.
As Mike Green would say, bang.
Skip the rock.
Bang.
Across.
Oh my
Set
gosh!
Up.
Look at that.
Blammo.
Look at that, dude.
Yeah.
That's some like 1970s mailman basketball.
I was about to say, I was like, oh my God.
Right there, milkman basketball. John Havlicek to Bob Cousy right there.
Come on.
So Ian, what do you think?
Yeah, you got to go with my King LeBron here. Obviously, that was. I'm surprised I didn't see that. That was an amazing play.
I was going through all the top plays of the week, and I was just watching, and I was just like straight in the middle because I will sit and watch, and I would judge myself. And
no, you found that off Instagram reel.
No, I was literally sending you the YouTube link. 33 minutes long.
Wow.
Halfway in between. Hear me out.
Ball knower.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, now moving on to this segment. Worst umpire to ref mistakes or the biggest blooper. Georgie, what do you have going on in this column?
Well, you know that new animated system? Yeah, this umpire was calling like 50% correct at this world this world championship series for world baseball series. Sorry. Yeah, it literally says, and then it sucks because they called it wrong. They called it a ball when it obviously was a strike. Even the catcher was about to like throw it around the bases. He's like, "Oh, my bad." He's like, "I thought it was a strike," which it was if you actually paid attention to the system.
Yeah,
which also, and the next pitch, the batter hits it and he gets on base for the first time. So it was like these things are detrimental. And someone literally had tweeted. I have like the tweet. Someone was like, "This umpire is calling balls and strikes at a 50% rate. This is pretty wild." And especially with this new automated system they have,
Are you guys in favor of that? I know there was questions, get rid of the umpires, let's get,
I kind of am
involved.
Because
it happens too often.
It does, and it just kind of ruins it too because it's like for that exact reason it should have been out, but then now you have a runner on back.
I think you can thank Angel Hernandez for a lot of it. You guys knew who Angel Hernandez was, famous umpire, who would always call strikes when they were like way outside. But yeah, no, that's definitely a great highlight, Georgie. Now we're going to go on back to college basketball from the men's bracket. I think I've only done college basketball from the men's bracket. We're going to go for Florida Gators, Cooper Yosberg. Okay, he's a Jewish guy from Florida, from Miami. He's a walk-on. Okay, he's a finance major. He's a walk-on. He just made his first career points with the Florida Gators, and then he tries to act like he's like Magic Johnson here, going straight to the hole, gets blocked, and then gets falling down. And then his fans, his teammates right there, I thought it was a funny guy, a play right there. He gets his first basket, and then he thinks he's like, this is his moment, right? He goes straight to the hole, then gets just body slammed.
You got to keep that confidence.
Yeah, I love it. Definitely, for sure. But yeah, Cooper Yosberg, I don't know if I said that right, but yeah, from Florida Gators, he's a walk-on.
Okay. So what do you think, Ian?
I'm just going to go with Aiden's take right here. I think that it was very funny. I'm not the biggest baseball fan, and definitely a 50% call rate as an ump is terrible. But just seeing that guy get blown up at the end and blocked, and his teammates laughing at him, like that would be me playing basketball with my friends, and if I finally got minutes,
and I think they're kind of toying with the team there. They were up by 40 there, and they're just like
they're just trolling them.
Yeah, exactly. And they had Condon, in the perimeter, which I thought was funny as well. Okay, but moving on, best miscellaneous sports plays, NHL hockey. Georgie.
Can
we get that going? Let's roll the tape.
NHL. It was Rodriguez when he did a single, like he got that it was on that defense on it, and then he was just 1v1 all the way in, boom.
Wow,
And it was just
that
good.
a power play?
Yeah, it was in the top. It was on top.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
But yeah, that one was really good, and he
Okay.
makes it 3-0 against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I thought that one was pretty cool, and it was like,
Yeah.
it's pretty
Well, I
good.
believe I
Little
can
calm,
fly.
little middle six
Okay.
forward.
Yeah, no, very
Great move,
great move. Now, I'm going to go back to Florida men's basketball. I'm going to go back to Florida men's basketball. I might be glazing Todd Golden's team here, but they're just so fun to watch. I'm going to go with the Micah hand-locked-in two-pointer right here. Do we have the tape, Tyler? Okay, here we go. There's a little layup right there. But I was not a Georgia men's basketball fan. I was more of a Florida men's basketball fan. Right there with the layup.
Oh my God.
7-footer
That's
right
6 or
there.
8. That's 8.
I already know where we're going with this, but so Ian, you can just give the point to Georgie there.
You can't
Little spin
doubt
move right
yourself.
there
You gotta have
on the low
confidence. That
block.
lost you. No.
Yeah, that did lose you, honestly.
You could have just sold
I'm
it.
not gonna
I'm just
lie,
gonna say
it's-
that the Florida Glaze was crazy today. Like,
Yeah,
did you
yeah,
just
that-
not have time to watch any other?
No, I only looked at
went
one game, Florida versus
Florida
Arkansas,
highlights.
and the whole clip
And like
was
the
just-
Jaylen Brown, like I'm a Mavs fan. Like
Oh,
He did his
yeah,
research.
I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Jaylen Brown is
you
not
actually-
better
you
than
told me that in
Luka.
the elevator. That's funny. But yeah, no. Florida, sign me. But anyway, Ian, tell me who won the last segment, and then who
it was
wins
a
the
tiebreaker.
war.
It was a tiebreaker.
Oh, it was a tiebreaker.
Yeah, it was
So
tied.
I guess it was tied up, and this guy only watches Florida men's basketball.
Get a load of this.
So
Okay, can we get the best highlight though? Best highlight from the column.
the,
Oh, wait,
the LeBron one?
Okay.
Are you kidding me? That is Georgie's prize today.
LeBron.
Well, there you have it,
Thank you
folks.
so much. Thank you for my
Georgie
haters.
wins off
Thank you
the
for my
bonbon
motivators.
right there.
Thank you for
Now,
everything.
as we
Thank
come
you
back
for-
first off, thank you, Ian, here, coming in, making his debut. I hope I didn't ruin it for you with all those Florida Gator segments. But moving on back to, we're going to take a little break here, then we're going to go on to Texas Athletics with me and Georgie back at it as the host. So stay tuned, folks, and Florida Gators.
Hello, and welcome back. So right now we're gonna get into some Texas takes, which is just something quick, nothing too drastic. Yep. So let's get this rolling, which is also Texas baseball. The Longhorns are 12-0 and one of the only 3 undefeated teams remaining in the league, I guess, and they have dominated most of their games. So when is this game going to take their first loss, or are they just going to go undefeated? Lol.
They're not going to take their loss, okay, because they have Anthony Pack Jr. from Southern California, the right fielder who can play, as a utility man. He can play pretty much any position alongside the outfield, along with the infield as well. He's been tremendous so far as a hitter, and he's a freshman too. Let's talk about more Texas baseball. Jim Schlossnagle has been to 6 Omaha appearances with the TCU Horned Frogs and the Texas A&M Aggies. This is a team that just got better and better with Carson Tenney added from Notre Dame. He's been great as a power hitter with already 3 homers. And then Ethan Mendoza as well. He's been a great leadoff hitter. He's gained some weight here, gained some muscle mass as well. So he's a guy that can drive it long. That's something that he needed to work on coming into it and coming into the season, quite frankly. And then the pitching, Ruger Rojas, Dylan Volantis. I really see this team going undefeated and having a perfect season. They're not playing Florida Gators this year in their lineup. They pretty have a solid, fundamentally grounded schedule going on to SEC play, which is going to be happening in 10 days. Today they're playing South Carolina Upstate, which I think they'll win in a 3-game series. But so far, I think Texas baseball has been great. What do you think?
I honestly think they've been great too. But moving on, let's just go to Texas women's basketball. Yeah, absolutely. And they've been great on their SEC tournament actions. Happens tonight against Alabama. And last year the Longhorns came in as a favorite after the regular season wins against South Carolina, but ended up getting bounced by the Gamecocks. So is this the year they win the SEC championship, and who needs to step up to make that happen? I truly believe that this is the year they will get very close. But however, South Carolina is South Carolina. That game is literally played in South Carolina. They have one of the best home advantages of all of college basketball.
Dawn Staley is one of the greatest.
And Dawn Staley is one of the great coaches. You got to give her their flowers.
Right.
But also, I think what Texas needs to do in this tournament is get that mind around, face up against the South Carolina, and just kind of get that that winner and competitive mentality in. So whenever they go into the tournament, which actually counts the most, I think, because at the end of the day, I do think it's going to be South Carolina and Texas to be the last 2 teams. However, they just need to get that experience. They need to get that fire going. So when they go into the tournament, it's like, okay, because they went against them in the early this season, won against them again, lost. Absolutely. And then now it's going to be, just seeing how the difference is between the two.
I think they're at their best when they play smash mouth, fundamental, complementary defense, especially with the perimeter with Aaliyah Crump and then alongside Rory Harmon. They can trap really well, create turnovers. That's when they're at their best. I think they have the best defense. Me and my colleague Raymond Gorey both agreed when we saw them play against North Carolina in a non-conference game a couple months ago. We said they were at their best, and they can really, make a deep run and potentially beat teams like UConn, South Carolina, just off their defense alone. I think they need to work on their perimeter shooting. That's just me. I think Aaliyah Crump can't be that only, factor, that only player that can only shoot the 3-ball really well. But I think work on the defense, and then alongside the perimeter shooting, I think they should be fine. I think they can have a huge chance of being South Carolina, as you mentioned, Game 2 of that season schedule. But now turning to Texas Beach Volleyball, started out their season with a 4-2 start, including wins over number 4 seeds University of Southern California, and the number 9 seed Cal Berkeley, and 7 seed Loyola Marymount University. But they dropped 2 games given they were against number 1 and number 2 teams in the nation, UCLA and Stanford. Can this team, Georgie, that is only its 3rd season complete with all these powerhouse schools, can they get it done, and can they compete with these schools?
Well, I think they actually can compete with the schools. Well, they have their new head coach, Stein McZeter. My apologies if I pronounced that right. And after they led UCLA to 2 national championships in 11 seasons, but whenever they left the Bruins and they came to the Longhorns after 23rd season, it was such a big difference and a big shift for beach volleyball, and especially with these players on their defense and their agility, it's definitely going to go right. Obviously, they're going to have those down times. They're going to have those moments where, like,
but I mean, look at the bright spots. I mean, they beat USC. They beat Cal. Like, that's where West Coast schools perform. Like, I always trash them for football, but I can't trash them when they play swimming, when they're in volleyball, because that's their thing.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
That's their thing. And have you ever been to California? It's beautiful weather.
Oh, beautiful. I've been to
the beaches
Stanford
and stuff. Oh, I know.
Yeah. Just everything about California.
Gorgeous.
Except LA. Never go to the Hollywood Walk.
No, especially at night. It can get a little sluggish. But again, going on, I think Texas can get it done, as you saw with USC and Cal Berkeley. I mean, they continue to recruit. They continue to build their profile. I think they can get it done. Maybe not in their third season of playing these teams, and playing this sport, but I think they can get it done here. It's just going to take time, as always. But now, okay, we're going to move on. We're going to go on a commercial break here. We got a 10 and 10. We got our 10 and 10 round where we'll talk about 10 sports debates alongside all athletics. So stay tuned, everyone. You don't want to miss it.
That was good. Welcome back to the Wanna Know Sports Show. We're going to do our 10 and 10 segment where we talk about 10 topics in 10 minutes. So start the timer now. Okay, Texas men's basketball. Go, Aiden.
Yeah, I think Texas men's basketball has it out for them in Nashville next week. We'll be out there for sure. So catch us there. I'm sure we'll be live tweeting and all that and stuff. But I think they need to work on their defense, specifically in the second half. They fouled too much. Sean Miller harped on that with their inconsistencies there, especially in the front court with Matas Vokatitis. He needs to be more of a rim protector. They have to get it done. They show you what they can do with their three-point shooting, as mentioned against Missouri, where they shot over 50% from the perimeter. They just need to tighten up with their interior.
Nope, they exactly do. But honestly, the amount of grit and agility, but we've seen them beat ranked teams away, so hopefully we can see them beat other teams away as well.
Yeah.
And even just starting off with that, Sean Miller, let's just see how far he goes. But moving on to Texas women's basketball, this team is a Final Four contender once again, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yes, they are ranked 4.
Yes.
Yeah, they're ranked 4 right now, and there are teams on top of them. However, you never know how this can go.
Yep.
LSU is always that sneaky lying in the background, so you never know how it can go. But however, them going into this SEC championship, we had mentioned earlier. But I'm gonna even just stress it even more. This SEC championship just needs to get them a little more experience. Just know the depth of the teams they're gonna be playing against, because this SEC championship is kind of just a preview of what's going to happen later in March.
Absolutely.
Minus about 4 or 5 teams.
Absolutely, definitely. I think win the 50-50 balls, okay? Win the rebound, specifically in the offense, okay? With your low block shooting, your interior shooting, okay? Trap on defense well with the perimeter, okay? So their outside defense, and then they need to be able to shoot the ball consistently. That's something that they struggled against. I think that's the reason why they lost to South Carolina in a close matchup, game 1 in Columbia. So win the 50-50 balls, win the 50-50 matchups, dominate in the interior, and then most of all, which I think we've kind of talked about, we harped on, win those defensive matchups on the in the perimeter.
Well, moving on, who impressed you in the combine?
I think it's going to be David Bailey, for sure. I mean, he ran over, I think, a 4.4, which is ridiculous at his size as a defensive line. I mean, this guy's just going to be tremendous, specifically in the edge coming out of Texas Tech. He's a finesse guy. He's, he can size you up with the power, but he's very different from Ruben Bain and a guy like Micah Parsons. They're very different. He's more of a finesse guy like a Max Crosby, where he's just going to, have a couple moves or two. He's very creative. But I think what he did in Indianapolis kind of speaks volumes. This was a guy, Georgie, that when they played BYU in the Big 12 championship back in Arlington in January, they had him number 32. He's now on Mike Mayock's draft and Mel Kiper's draft. He's now at number 3. Okay, wow. And I think he's just going to pile on his stock in his film with the coverage we saw in Indy. What about you, Georgie?
Honestly, I think people to look at, definitely yours, but I think for me, people to look at is David Bailey, the edge from Texas Tech. He showcased elite athleticism with a 4.5-second 40-yard dash and a 10'9" broad jump. These players, I don't know what the heck they're feeding these players. Like other people like Danny Dennis, Nick and Morelli and Jeremiah Love. These people, this whole just new environment of athletes just coming out and showcasing is actually amazing. It's peak athleticism,
especially with the 440 dash. I mean, Deion Sanders had that record for a long time, and then John Ross broke it, and then a couple years ago, Xavier Worthy, our guy from UT, ran a 4.23, I think. It's like they're just like I don't know. Yeah, what are they feeding them?
Exactly.
And can I get some of that as well?
For real.
Okay, but now moving on to baseball, talking about Jurgensen Profar. He has been banned for 162 games the full season, the second time for PEDs. What's your take on this? This is his second time now that he has been caught using PEDs. This goes back to Fernando Tatis with the Padres back in 2020. What's your opinion on this?
It's career ending at this point. At his age, he is too old to be doing all this. I'm gonna be so honest, and especially, it's just why would you do it? At the end of the day, why would you do that? Especially on your time in a player roster, you need to treat these last years like it's your golden years. Like you can't mess it up. And honestly, he just messed it up.
And this guy's a bust. I mean, he was drafted number 1, I think, back in 2011 with the Texas Rangers. And then when you don't get an All-Star within your 10 seasons, I think that just goes to show, as a number 1 pick, I think that just proves to be you're a bust. And so. Again, Jurgensen Profar, again, what are you doing there? But now moving on to the NFL, Kyler Murray this past week was released by the Arizona Cardinals. His time in the desert is done. Was this a great move? Was this a rational move with the Cardinals as they fired Jonathan Gannon? Now they're releasing Kyler Murray. Was this the right, appropriate decision, Georgie?
I will say a tweet that I wrote down. It says, Arizona is eating a mountain of dead money to reset the roster. And honestly, I feel like that just kind of explains it the most. It's like, Murray will get another shot, but this is really...
This was a cap move.
It was not. It was not to
alleviate some...
It's like... If you're really deep into QB relationship, like this is like such a heartbreaker. This
exactly.
Is literally terrible.
Exactly.
What about you?
This guy, he loves Call of Duty, so I don't think it really affects him, and I think he's really at his craft in when it comes to esports. Okay, so I think this is a great move. Jacoby Brissett outperformed him. That's the reason why he won the job mid-season last year. But yeah, no, I think this is a great move. Look for Arizona maybe to get a quarterback, maybe to trade for a quarterback. Geno Smith was just released from the Raiders, folks. So I could see the Cardinals tank and maybe get like a guy like Julian Sayin next year who's going to be drafted from Ohio State, So again, yeah, this is a great move. But now going on, Tarek Skubal only threw 55 pitches in the World Baseball Classic.
Go Tigers.
Yeah,
what's your opinions on this? Was this...
Well, Team USA wants him, but the Tigers, as you can tell in the audience, they love him more, and they want him more, and they need him more. And the fans live out, but, they're protecting their ace, which makes that makes it good. I mean, you've seen how detrimental it is to overwork your
And I think that's a lot of pitches, even in a World Baseball Classic. You're saying only 55 pitches. Whoever wrote this, come on, you gotta watch baseball. That's a lot, okay? Because they're treating it like the All-Star game.
Yeah.
55 pitches is a lot. But yeah, again, you're resting your starter, you're resting your ace for deeper rounds like you could beat Japan, Dominican Republic, Cuba. Yeah, we'll see. I think it's a great move. Now moving on, Bears Pro Bowl center Drew Dahlman announced his retirement just at 27. Georgie, what's your opinions on that? And
you can't even get mad at this day and age. I mean, yes, they have a lot of safety precautions to make sure you can protect your health in the long run. However, nowadays, it sometimes isn't worth it. Take your bag and go off. I'm not opposed to that. And he's going just more for health and longevity in life.
And he's not playing a skill position. This is a tight, nitty gritty. Their synonym for a guard is like a road blocker. So they're really getting in. The line of scrimmage. That's where everything happens. Yeah. So I mean,
then he was a Pro Bowler, so obviously this shakes up people a little bit.
It's definitely admirable. I mean, putting your health on the line,
you can't get mad at that because it's not. Like he said, it's not some easy task. Like you're actually putting yourself in there.
Yeah, I want to bring up Ricky Williams, but I'm not going to bring up Ricky Williams just for political reasons. But now Miami, Ohio, their men's basketball now they're undefeated, but they have I think a 60% chance of making the tournament even if they win the MAC. Georgie, what's your opinions on this?
Well, but do you hear the thing that had like a weak schedule?
Yes.
That's what I'm like. That's what I'm saying. So is it really? I haven't really done too much on. Yes, they have a pretty good.
I don't think we should hate on the MAC too much because Oakland last year beat Kentucky, in the round of 64. I mean, I think let Miami, Ohio play, but I think it is definitely going to come down to whether or not they win the MAC. But yeah, because they have one of the easiest schedules. But moving on, David Montgomery, he's done with his tandem with Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit. He's now going on to the Houston Texans. Nick Caserio willing to give up some of his draft capital for David Montgomery. Georgie?
Well, he's steady. He's physical. Who also just raises the floor on the offense. But as they move on from Mixon, it's just a little bit of a.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's just too much in there. Honestly, I have 3 points in this one because I didn't.
Yeah, they definitely.
It's not very flashy, but it's very functional.
Yeah, I mean he's a great running back. He can be a right.
Yeah.
I mean he was the best running back too last year in the NFL, and then the year before that. But I think they definitely need a running game with the Texans. But now moving on, spring break plans. We're gonna be in Nashville. Partying up on Broadway, unfortunately.
Going to sleep as soon as we're done with these games.
Yes, exactly.
We're going from the 10th to the 16th.
What do you want to do in Nashville, Georgie, besides covering, because we're going to be there on Tuesday.
Dolly Parton. It's either a museum or a restaurant. I don't know.
Definitely got to go to the Grand Ole Opry.
Yes, and then our co-producer, Kendall Ungar, she actually is from Nashville. So
Yeah,
she's gonna give us some recommendations, which I'm really excited about.
Absolutely.
But yeah, and then afterwards, because when we come back, it's like the Sunday or the Monday of like spring break.
Yeah.
So I'm going to South Padre Island, living it up.
Nice.
Double team it, work hard, play harder.
Nice. I'll be in San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
California.
Yeah. So there you have it, folks. Then we're going to bring up a very special guest coming back. We're going to go into our Pick'em segment. So you don't want to miss that. Stay tuned and have a great spring break.
Oh. Hey, here we go. Welcome to our last block of the show, and we're introducing our, well, Aiden's friend, I guess. No, I'm kidding. Our friend, Raymond Garvey.
Go.
Raymond, how you doing today, Ray?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Ray? All right.
Okay, so Ray, North Carolina is taking on Duke the second time. This is going to be on Coach K's court in Durham. Who do you got winning this one?
We're placing our bets right now, by the way.
I'm going to go with Duke because playing in Durham is a hard place, especially since didn't North Carolina win the first matchup?
Yes, they did.
So, yeah, I think they're going to split the series. I think it's a home, and both teams are going to win their home game, and then the deciding factor is going to be in the ACC tournament.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I'm going to go with Duke.
My apologies, MJ, a.k.a. Black Jesus. I am going to go with Duke winning North Carolina here. Caleb Wilson, he's not coming back. Duke's been the best team. I think they answered the questions. Beating Michigan, they answered the concerns. This is a Final Four team. Okay, Georgie.
Duke. All right, next we have Vanderbilt. number 24 Vanderbilt at number 23 Tennessee. Aiden, who you got?
I'm going to go with Vanderbilt. I'm going to go with the Commodores here. I think they're a dark horse team. They can do it with their three-point shooting. And yes, I'm saying Vanderbilt will have a great chance of winning the SEC tournament if Florida does not make it to the championship round. Ray, what do you have?
Rick Barnes, hook 'em.
Okay.
Tennessee.
He's not there anymore, but okay.
Tennessee.
Jordan.
Okay.
Tennessee.
I'm going to go with Vanderbilt because I always want to put the upset here, and we the real UT. So,
No, definitely.
Vanderbilt.
Yes.
All right,
Awesome.
next we have Michigan State at Michigan. Oh, Raymond, talk.
Michigan, little brother in basketball, Michigan State. We don't care about them. Michigan, Big Blue. We're gonna move on to we're gonna beat Michigan State, and then we're gonna start our run to the national championship. And yes, I said we.
Thank you, Tom. First off, thank you, Tom Izzo. You're a
Busting
Hall of
off
Fame.
all the journalism.
Thank you, Tom Izzo. You're a Hall of Fame head coach. You gave us Draymond Green, so I appreciate that. But I'm going to have to go with Dusty May's side. They're one of the best teams. They can win the Final Four
Pack
team
it
as
up,
well.
Grandpa.
Call it a sweep because I'm picking Michigan.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yep. Well, we have number 4 Texas women's at versus Alabama in the SEC tournament.
I'm just going to give it to Ray.
That's tonight.
Ray, tell me your opinions.
I'm going to go with Texas here. I think their defense is going to take them all the way to the SEC final, and then at that point, ask me again.
Yep. And, well,
I concur with Ray.
Texas as well, guys.
Awesome. Okay, SEC tournament winner, Ray.
Texas.
There we go. Okay, New York Rangers versus the New Jersey Devils, NHL. I don't know anything about hockey, but the Rangers share the same name with the Texas Rangers, who I despise greatly as a Houston Astros fan. So with that being said, I'm going to go with the New Jersey Devils. Shout out Frank the Tank.
My little ones told me that the Rangers have like a guy that's like 6'7". His only job is just to fight people. So I'm going to go with the Rangers. Okay, 6'8". So I'm going to go with him. I'm going to go with the Rangers.
I'm going to go with the one who causes chaos, too. Give me the Rangers. Also, I picked South Carolina to win the SEC championship.
Boo.
Boo.
Okay. And then we have the Rockets.
Rockets versus Spurs. I-10 rivalry here. The last game before we move on to the playoff schedule. Ray, who do you have?
Of course, I'm gonna go with the Spurs. I mean, we're 2-0 against the Detroit Pistons, the number 1 team in the East, and then we're 3-1. 4-1 against the number 1 team in the West in OKC. Houston, easy.
Are they little brother, right?
Yeah, the whole state is little brother when it comes to NBA basketball. The Mavericks and Houston. At their championships up together, they're still less
just
than the
broke
Spurs.
the control room as we speak. To put this into a historical sense, San Antonio leads the I-10 rivalry all time against the Houston Rockets. They're 11-0 right now. I'm surprised you didn't say that, Ray. They're 11-0 going in.
We're not.
They were the best team in February.
Yeah, but we lost the game. We're not 11.
They were 11-0
in February.
In February, yes. But give me the Spurs, Georgie.
2-1-0 girly. San Antonio Spurs all the way. They beat the Rockets. They
Awesome.
can do it
I'm
again.
also from Houston.
I didn't ask. This is not the Rocket. Okay, but Honor Palmer invitation. Give me Scotty Scheffler.
I'm gonna go Scotty as well. Hook 'em.
Give me Colin Morikawa, just because I like that name. No apparent reason.
Okay,
OU versus Texas. This is the last game before me and Georgie head out to Nashville, the Music City. Ray,
Let me say something.
This is going to be, I'm sure we're all going to be here in the Moody Center watching the game. OU versus Texas. Who do we have?
We have to get our give back from last year. Like our last regular season game this season, we set some of our seniors off with an L. So we have to redeem that factor. And Texas, I'm gonna go with Texas to this year.
I'm gonna go with we lose. Oh no, I'm sorry. They lose because they ain't no we. They lose against at home because they can play really good. The home court advantage can be full. Energy can be packed. If you're inside Moody Center, you see it right then and there.
Over and under.
But the last 5 minutes of the game, they will choke.
Over and under Matas Vokatitis gives up 60+ points in the paint. OU wins this for me.
How about this? How many fouls?
He's terrible.
Does he get 3 fouls in
terrible.
the first 10
He's terrible.
minutes of the game?
Now, but going on, USA versus Brazil. World Baseball Classic. USA makes its debut against Brazil. I'm going to go with Team USA. And that's all I have to say. What do you guys have?
Let me take you to the Rio. I take Brazil. Why not?
Okay.
I'm going to take USA because my ace, America's ace, is starting today. Logan Webb is on the mound. So give me the Team USA. He's going to represent the San Francisco Giants well.
Absolutely, absolutely, indeed. Well, thank you, Ray. Here, that takes us, and do we go to break?
No. Say we wrap that thing up. So we'll
up.
see how these bets place. We'll see if Raymond's gonna owe me $50 or if I'm never gonna pay him back. But thank you so much for tuning in today to the One and O Sports Show. Make sure to tune in to our other sister shows, which is College Press Box Tuesdays at 6 p.m. and College Crossfire on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Thank you to the back. Thank you to our executive producer today, our boy, Sweet Sea Tyler Strumpel in the background. Thank you to our guests. Thank you to Aiden. Thank you to Ray. Thank you to me. And y'all go out and have a safe weekend.